Have you ever tried to reduce weight? Have you done dieting or physical exercise or both? Well, worse, have you felt nothing works and let's just quit this? If you ever felt it this way, that you tried everything and nothing works, then you're not alone. I welcome you to my team. I feel the same. In this video, you'll find tips on how to develop a healthy lifestyle. This is not a gimmick. This is not a program. There is no special diet plan here. This is what you can and should routinely and easily do in your everyday life. Watch till the end to find tips on what are the top 5 ways you can have a healthier and longer life. I want to welcome you all today. For those of you who are new here, I'm Dr. Raj Iyer, a practicing anesthesia doctor tuning in from New Jersey in USA, and this is our live session on Talk Ask the Experts. Find more information on healthforkiddies.com. We have expert doctors from around the world who volunteer to take their time and come to this platform to educate you all. No matter what part of the world you're in, we want you to be happy and healthy. There are so many fake news out there on social media, WhatsApp, and others. Here in our channel, you'll hear from real medical doctors who are experienced, and we provide information on what is scientifically tested by doctors or based on experience or both. Check out our other videos in Ask the Expert series by clicking this link above. I want to welcome all the live and returning viewers. If you're a returning viewer watching the replay, remember this is a long video because we tend to cover many important things. You can always scroll to topics that are important to you in the video by looking in the description below. If you're interested in learning about other topics, do leave it in the comment section below. If you find value in the content like this, do smash the like and share button. If this type of content provides value to you and you're still not subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel so you get an update about new videos. Today, I'm very honored to have Dr. Adarsh Gupta with us today. And let's welcome Dr. Gupta. Welcome, Adarsh.
Thank you, Dr. Raj, for having me on your channel. I'm very excited to be here.
Thank you. Adarsh is a speaker, writer, entrepreneur, and works in the USA. He's a very experienced and senior weight loss specialist doctor. In every live session, I share exciting things about our experts. So with Dr. Adarsh, I have to say, number one, I'm very fortunate to know Adarsh personally and is a family friend of ours. Number two is Adarsh has authored a few books and writes his own blogs. Check about him and his work on his website, adarshgupta.com. And you can also follow Dr. Gupta on Amazon.com or any Amazon in your country like I do. Here's the most exciting news today. You can actually have a free copy of his book, 7 Secrets to a Healthier Life. You can download a Kindle version free today and tomorrow. I'll leave the link in the comments below and in the description. Let me show you a quick disclaimer, and you can always find this disclaimer in the description below. I want to remind you to post your question in the comments below, and also if you would like to join live, use the link in the comment section and you can join us from any device, including a phone. So let's get to Dr. Gupta. So Adarsh, you've written a few books. So focusing on this book, let me bring that on the screen. So 7 Secrets to a Healthier You. So what prompted you to write this book?
Hi, Raj. I have been counseling on weight management and healthy lifestyle since 2006. And what I've learned during this time that most people focus on quick results. Some event happens in their life and they want to make a quick decision to lose weight and be healthy. And what happens that they go search Dr. Google and find thousands of gimmicks. Do this and lose weight. Follow this workout and lose weight. There are thousands and thousands of weight loss programs floating around on the internet about losing weight. People fall prey to those quick fixes, and some of them will just never fit in their daily routine. But they do it anyway to lose weight. Even if they follow a crazy weight loss program and they lose weight, they will find that they are unable to maintain it. And the main reason for that is they make changes to their daily routine in such a way that they will never be able to maintain it. So, with this book and the other books that I have published and the books that I'm going to publish, I want to convey the importance of a healthy lifestyle, discuss what a healthy lifestyle really is, and how one can achieve it without giving up the food that they enjoy, without any guilt and crazy weight loss plan. So this book is a shorter version of idea that tells what things one should do so they can learn about healthy lifestyle without giving up the food they like and achieve healthier version of themselves.
Hmm. No, that's great. Thank you. I'm so glad you're helping our people by writing all these books. I read the book. I really enjoyed it. So I encourage you to all download a free version, read this book, and benefit for yourself. So first thought that comes to me is I have tried everything. Now I have to lose weight. I walk every day. I diet. It's been a long time since I ate my ice cream, but nothing works. So what should I do now?
So I think everybody has some kind of food cravings, the comfort food that they really love. And the one thing that I want to say that when people say that I want to change my life and be healthier, you so in order to be successful in achieving a healthier state, we should not be depriving ourselves from anything that we like or develop a feeling of guilt. So when we deprive ourselves from the food that we like, we do two things. Number first, we challenge our willpower. And number two, we think about that food even more. Willpower takes energy. So if you're constantly going to challenge it by constantly forcing, I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to eat it today, you are actually using that willpower energy and it's going to run out, right? Second, when we deprive ourselves of the food that we like, we actually think about that food even more. When we think that I will eat that ice cream when I lose weight, I should not eat that ice cream. I cannot eat that ice cream. Even a small piece, if I eat ice cream, I will lead to eating the whole thing. We spend a lot of time thinking about the ice cream or the food. So it has now taken the big space in the head. It's all about ice cream. It's become a bigger thing. To avoid all that, simply have a small portion of ice cream or any food that you like and eat it very slowly. Enjoy every bit to the fullest. After about 15-20 minutes, your craving will go away, you will be satisfied, and you will not have eaten too much calories. And it is completely out of your mind. So this way, you're not depriving yourself of the food. You eat what you like. There is no restriction. There is actually no definition of a good food or bad food.
Hmm.
You should develop a healthy connection with the food. Every food is okay as long as you don't overdo it. So some of the tips that I presented in my book is actually goes over how can I control this kind of craving? How do I control hunger better? And I still enjoy the food and not give up on the food that I like.
Hmm. Okay, so that's so helpful. So I'm sure people who hear this can be satisfied that they can still enjoy their favorite food, but also continue to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So I have to say, weight loss is such a hot topic. There are thousands and thousands of diet on weight loss. There are so many information online there. What is your take on diet?
Well, as you said, there are thousands and thousands of diets. And some of those diets are actually sensible, and some are simply fad. Like, give you some example. I've given some lectures on a fad diet. One of them diet was cabbage soup diet, all fruit diet. Can you imagine? Can you think you can ever live on just cabbage soup for the rest of your life, or eating only fruit for the rest of your life? I guess not. I think that's not going to happen. Then why would one think that I'm going on a diet, I will be able to lose weight and maintain the weight? What's going to happen to the weight maintenance? How are you going to maintain that weight loss? So why do you need that diet? Actually, there was a study published in JAMA, I think in 2014 or 2017, I don't know exact date, but they compared about 17 different diets, including Weight Watchers and all the diets. And what they found, that all diet worked. Everybody lost weight on every diet. But what was most important? If you want to maintain the weight loss, you have to like the food that you're eating.
Okay.
And if you don't like the food that you're eating, it's not going to last. So, in order to maintain weight loss, you have to like the food. And that will only happen when you eat the food that you like. Let me give you an example.
Hmm.
Let's say an Italian person wants to go on a vegan diet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he will face a lot of food issues at every family party is gathering because Italian food is cheese heavy.
Mm-hmm.
If he cannot have cheese, he cannot have any part of food in any of his family gathering. But do you think this person is able to maintain vegan lifestyle? Well, he's going to have face challenging. If he really believes in it, he can. There's nothing wrong with that. That's perfect. But he's going to face a lot of challenges. And if he cannot face those challenges, he won't be able to maintain the lifestyle. Then why try a shortcut? Why try, I would call the word as a band aid? It's like a simple band aid. Why go on a diet when you cannot keep it?
Mm-hmm.
So the focus here is just simply lower your calories from the food that you currently eat and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
That's most likely going to last. And this type of long-term behavior change, what truly healthy lifestyle changes, because that's going to lead you toward a long-term healthier version of you. To lower calorie in one's diet, you can either eat the lower portion size or you take away the high calorie ingredient from the food and that the same food become a lower calorie version of the food that you typically enjoy. And if you just do that, you got your diet, yourself, your own personalized diet where you're eating lower calories and still enjoying the food. And there is a more likely chance you can maintain that kind of diet because you like this food. So I have another book, Don't Just Lose Weight, Lose Inches. In that book, I go over this concept in detail so that people can understand how can I lower the food in the food that I'm eating right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go to my website, adarshgupta.com, or you can learn about my other books there as well. But this is the important concept. You have to like the food. Otherwise, diet is what? You're eating the food that you don't like for the sake of losing weight, and it's not going to last.
Mm-hmm.
It's temporary already. And that's why data shows that most people give up diet in 3 or 4 months. That's the stats,
Yeah.
maximum.
Well, you told me about your website. I did check your website. It's fantastic. I couldn't resist. So I spent a lot of time on your website. So I did bump
Thank
into
you.
this beautiful picture on your website. So I took a screen print that I'm sharing on the screen. So this is very nice. So is diet alone good to be healthy? What does this picture mean? Can you explain?
Yes, I think this picture is I think, the most important concept that everybody should really understand. Because most people, when they go on diet, they cut down the calorie. No matter what diet you do, cut down calorie. And when you do that, you will lose weight. But when you lose weight, what are we actually losing? Are we losing fat? Are we losing muscle? Are we losing water? When people go on very crazy diet where they restrict water or they drink, even they take water pill to lose weight, the pounds go up. But what you lose? You didn't lose fat, you lost water. So what this picture is emphasizing is the concept of percent body fat, and which is a very important concept to understand. If you can get a chance to show this picture again, I want to point out the two people that you see in this picture. The person on the left, which all muscular, he's also 6 foot, also weighs 250 pounds, also has a BMI of 33.9, and compared to the guy on the right, who has the same height, same weight, and same BMI. So can you see what's the difference between these two guys? They both have same weight. And you know the weight cannot tell you what's going on in your body. The both people have same weight and same BMI. So if you just go by the weight, the guy in the muscle, do you think he's unhealthy? No, he's not unhealthy.
Great.
The reason being is he has less percentage of fat in the body. Most of the metabolic disorders, hypertension, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, they all start from fat, adipose tissue. Adipose tissue starts the inflammatory cascade, leads to all those metabolic disorders. Muscle doesn't do that. So when you're losing weight, why do you want to lose muscle and water? Your goal is make sure you don't lose muscle and water and lose only fat. Bring down your percent body fat. And once we do that, you're going to see the weight will last longer because muscle actually is very metabolic organ. If you have more muscle, you're burning calorie just by sitting. Doing nothing, you're burning calorie. This will help you maintain the weight loss much easier. So to maintain muscle, diet alone is not going to do it. Because if you just do a diet, lower calorie, you may lose weight. You could lose a lot of muscle and a lot of water. But if you integrate exercise into it and enough protein diet into it and focus on exercise component, then there is much likely chance you will lose only fat. You will look skinnier, even though same weight, but you look much more skinnier, much more fit, more energetic, and you have much higher chance of maintaining your weight loss. And this one concept, I think I've been trying my best to let everybody know. That's why I wrote my first book, just focusing on don't just lose weight, lose inches for that one main focus, what we can do so we lose only fat. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why the diet alone won't do it. You need to focus on exercise as well.
Okay. You have explained this in a very nice way. I really love the picture because it's a very good pictorial representation of what to expect and what to do. The picture on the left, low percent body fat, is actually a dream body everybody wants to have. But then there are people stuck with their busy schedules. So, how can someone exercise or continue their physical activity when, with their busy schedule?
You raise excellent point because when we talk about fitness, most people think I have to have six packs. That's not true. You don't really have to have six packs to reach higher metabolic state. So all we have to do is make sure we maintain the muscle we have and we can gain some muscle. And to gain some muscle for us, actually, it's not that difficult. All we need to incorporate in your exercise routine is some kind of strength training, weightlifting, and all you need to do is only 2 times a week. 2 times a week, at least day or 2 day apart of strength training. As long as you do that, you will do good with your muscle maintenance, maintaining muscle. Most people, as they get older and elderly, they lose muscle mass, lean body mass loss. It happens. Why? Because nobody really emphasizes strength training. Like, have you been there? Anybody tells you do strength training, they all say workout aerobics. They're all programs about aerobic, but nobody really focuses on strength training. And strength training is one component that's very important for everybody. Even people who's elderly, they're also losing muscle. If you lose muscle, you don't have no support for your joint. Arthritis, joint pain will happen even more so if you lose muscle. So if you focus on strength training from the very beginning, just 2 times a week of strength training, weightlifting, which could be either with the resistance bands at home using your own body weight. I have some videos also on my website where that shows you what we can do for the strength training at home. And in my book, Don't Just Lose Weight and Lose Inches, I actually have a full workout plan for 2 weeks that you can repeat that goes over home exercises that you can do. And you can lose weight and lose fat and maintain muscle. So exercise is very important. You need to do daily activity for at least 45 minutes. And when I say activity, it doesn't have to be gym. It could be household work,
Mm.
yard work, playing with kids, walking your dog. All that counts as an activity. And second component from that exercise you need is strength training. So those two components, active every day for 45 minutes and strength training 2 times a week, 2 days apart. It's all you need to be able to maintain muscle. And as long as you're doing that, you're going to find that you will have more muscle and you lose fat. And one more point I want to mention because I've heard it from so many times, especially from many female people.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
They don't want to do strength training. They feel if they lift weight, they're going to become Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's so hard for female to become that muscular. But you need to maintain the muscle, right? So that's why strength training is important for everybody. Do it. You're not going to become muscular, but you want to maintain the muscle. That's important part. So it's important for everybody to do it. And I found in my experience, most female are sort of not keen on doing strength training for that reason. They just avoid because they don't want to look muscular.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
that's important everybody to do it.
that's a very good point. And also, there is only one Arnold Schwarzenegger. No one can beat him. So, when people go to the store to buy food, what sort of things they should be looking for to get a good, or I shouldn't say good food, but a healthy food?
I think when we go for buy food, the one of the thing you look for is how much are the calories per serving. That's the very first thing. And many people may not even focus on the serving size. Look at the serving size. Is that the 1 cup, 2 cups, 4 cups, one glass? Like what's the serving size that it is? That gives you idea that this whole box they're giving you, that box has 7 servings. And if you eat the whole box thinking it only has this much calorie, well, you took 7 times that calorie. So first looking at the serving size. Then look at how much calorie per serving. your goal is to really watch for your calorie intake per day. That is going to be the thing. And one simple takeaway, I don't want people to go really low calorie diet.
Mhm.
If you just cut down 500 calories per day, that would be a good start. If you're consuming too much, you can go down to 1,000 calorie less per day. You can do that. That's too aggressive. But just aim to do at least 500 down per day. Start from there, and then we can pick it up. To make it simple, you're not have to do everything quick. You're trying to learn a habit. You're trying to learn the routine so that you can keep. So make it change such a way that you can keep. So just cut down smaller calories, but be consistent so you can build a habit and focus on food that has more protein. Protein is useful to control hunger. Protein is also useful to maintain muscle. So zero point 0.8 gram per kilogram protein is recommended for everybody. And if
Mhm.
you are weightlifting, trying to maintain muscle, doing strength training, go for 1 gram per kilogram of protein per day. And that is a good enough protein per day for you. Also, you want to limit the saturated fat, which is not good, and limit the salt. So those are two things you want to have less of. You want to have more of protein. And regarding carbohydrates, look for the actual sugar. Don't look for total carbohydrate. The total carbohydrate is misleading because total carbohydrate also includes dietary fiber, which is a good thing,
Mhm.
which is fiber you get in the fruits. So if you ever look up an apple, apple will tell you total carbohydrate is 19 grams of total carbohydrates, but mostly that dietary fiber, which is good. If you look at half a muffin, that says 14 grams of total carbohydrate. Well, you know that muffin is not better than apple, right? So when you look for carbohydrate, look for actual sugar. So about 35 grams per sugar, it's average okay. Try to minimize just the sugar, not the dietary fiber. You want more of that. You want more fresh fruit and vegetables. So that's the thing to look for carbohydrates in terms of diet wise when you're buying food. And try to have variety. I think that's the main thing. Make sure you have about 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. They also help you feel fuller. High fiber diet helps you control your hunger better. So that's important. And have variety. That's more important.
Mhm. Yeah, this is very helpful, others. This is a very good explanation of the food label because this is so critical that people need to look into to buy food so they make the right choice. Getting back to your book, you said there are 7 secrets in this book. If you want to pick, like let's say top 3 secrets, and what would they be, or would you place equal emphasis on all of those secrets?
Well, I think most of secrets that I mentioned in there are important to build a healthy lifestyle. One secret I think I would say has the most value and really help everybody is eating slowly. That's my secret number one in the book, and I'm just giving it out for you to have it. But eating slowly is one component that plays a big role no matter what food you eat. No matter what food you eat, it doesn't matter because from the start of eating, it takes about 20 minutes from brain to tell you signal that you're full. So if you are the person who is used to eating quickly, which most of us in our society is, we're just on the go. I can tell you, most people who are in medical profession, they were pretty much sort of trained to eat fast. They just quick and go and go, quick and go, eat and go, eat and go. You just build up the habit that you eat too fast. I know most of my colleagues that I know, people who are doctor I know, they just eat quickly. They're done in 2 minutes. They're done in 5 minutes. And what happens with that is before the brain can tell you that you're full, you already eaten the food. Then 15, 20 minutes later, you get this feeling, oh, I should not have eaten that. It's too much. Oh, you get the feeling. That's because you never gave your brain a chance to tell you that you're full. So the most important thing is try practice eating slowly. Give it about 20 minutes. I also tell people that make sure you eat slowly. If you're having conversation, enjoy conversation. You don't have to rush into food. Focus on other things happening around you, and eat for about 10 minutes. Then give it a few minute break. Just put your utensils down and just sit down and give it a break, and then take another 10 minutes to eat the whole thing. And while eating it, I've actually given an exercise in my book that they can practice, so create a healthy connection with the food. What we can do, so build that healthy connection with the food, really enjoy the food and take your time. And what happens with that is by 20 minutes comes in, brain tells you when you're full and you've not eaten too much calorie. So this one simple concept can apply to any food you eat. It doesn't matter. Just practice eating slowly. That's very important because this alone will help you control your daily caloric intake from every meal. And if you purposefully do it every day, in a couple of weeks, that will become a new habit. And that's going to be, I think, my next book I'm planning on writing is about how to build good habits, because that's the key component for healthy lifestyle. What we can do to build good habits, and that is one of the component is keep doing same thing again and again, again and again, again and again for a couple of weeks. Then it becomes habit. This is how you
Mm.
build up new habits.
Okay.
So that is the one big secret. There are a few other things in the book are definitely that important, but that's one thing I think you should definitely take away is practice eating slowly.
Okay. So I'm glad to hear about your next book. I look forward to reading it. Actually, I did read your full book, page to page, and I really enjoyed it. I have to say, you do touch on sleep. Most people know that they have to sleep for certain number of hours, right? I mean, they all know that. But there are also people who claim to be elite sleepers, these are people who barely sleep but can still lead their normal life, stay active without getting tired. What do you think about this?
I think one thing I would say when people say they stay active, are they active, first of all day? Right. They may have a moment of down. Second, how much stimulant do they consume per day? How many times they have coffee and tea to keep them awake, alert?
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what happens, sleep is very important part of your body. And as an average adult, about 7 to 8 hours of sleep is good sleep. And as a kid, 14 to 17 hours. As you can see in this chart, which in my book from National Sleep Foundation, they found that newborns should sleep 14 to 17 hours. And then we come to the teenager, 8 to 10 hours, and the adults, 7 to 8 hours. This is optimal, even if you go 5 to 6 hours. But if you go less than that, it begins to affect your body. When we sleep, our mind and brain go on a restorative hyperdrive. It's building your protein, recuperating muscle, and helping restore mental tension. The more sleep deprived a person is, the more the chances of deficient physical and mental activity, as you do not allow your body to recover from the previous day or get ready for the next day. So my book discusses some sleep hygiene tips that will help them get the proper sleep. So if you think you're going to do well with 1 to 2 hours of sleep per night, well, maybe for some time, but it's not going to last. Ultimately, it's going to catch up on you and it's going to lead to mental tension, stress, anxiety. And there is a lot of things happen with lack of sleep. People have headaches. People also get mood changes, frequent mood changes. These are all the things can happen with lack of sleep. And you need to let body recover. That's the main purpose of sleep. We have a circadian rhythm. Why? Body is designed to go through that restorative process so you can rebuild for the next day. And if you're not going to do it, ultimately it's going to affect you. The body is going to die down.
Yeah.
So even though people they say they're doing well, they probably would have some support. They probably do take quick naps. They fall asleep odd times. They keep themselves stimulated with coffee, tea. Without that, it's not healthy.
Mm-hmm. So, in general, you're suggesting for people, for the most part, should follow the general guidelines for them to stay happy and healthy. Is that right?
Yeah, sleep, like I sleep is good for, when you talk about health, it also has to do with your mental health. It's not just physical health, your mental health. And people who constantly sleep deprived, that people many times becomes uh, irritable, have headaches, and those people may develop other anxiety, tension, and also it's not good for the body, physical part of the body, because your muscles also don't get a chance to fully recuperate, and so both mental and physical part gets affected with lack of sleep. So it is important for everybody, even if you do find short term, but long term is going to get you.
Mm-hmm.
And about 7 to 8 hours is ideal. Many adults may do well with 5 to 6 hours, and that's fine as well.
Okay. When it comes to sleep, a lot of people suffer with difficulty going to sleep. They already know they should not be taking caffeine, coffee, tea, whatever it is, late in the day. I've heard
Mhm.
from people they stop taking their coffee at 11 a.m. in the morning, 1 p.m. in the afternoon. In spite of that, people still continue to have sleeping problems. So, what do you want to tell people like that?
Yeah, so I do talk about that quite detail in my book. I give them lots of tips and what's important to sleep. But I think the key thing to learn is you want to make sure your mind wind down. Your mind relaxes near the bedtime. You want to minimize mental and physical stimulation near bedtime. So if you're watching TV, reading books, it can stimulate your mind because your mind can get into that story. You can, and you want to be more awake. What's going on? What's going to happen? You read a book, and big book has some kind of a context, a story. Your mind get into it, and that stimulates the mind. It can arouse many thoughts in your mind, and the mind is very agitated. And the mind is that it affects your sleep. Same thing with exercise. If you do exercise near bedtime, after 7 p.m., 8 p.m., you may feel that you are very alert, and that does happen, and that actually affects your sleep. So for person who has difficulty falling asleep, it's important that they should not do exercise after 6 or 7 p.m. Some people who can just fall asleep anywhere, well, they can fall asleep anywhere. Those are no problem. And everybody is different. But
Yeah.
more focused people who have difficulty falling asleep, those are some recommendations that will help minimize the distractions. Find way to relax your mind near the bedtime. People use some aromatherapy to relax your mind. People
Hmm.
can do sound music, easy listening music to relax the mind. Your main goal is just relax your mind, and this will help you fall asleep much more easier. And there are some more recommendations in my book that you can do. Don't drink too much fluid near bedtime so that you don't have to get up and go at nighttime. Certain medications can affect your sleep, so make sure you are aware of them. But those are the certain aspect.
Okay. See, everyone is faced with stress, which also contributes to lack of sleep. As you have highlighted in the book, people go to other activities like drinking, smoking, postponing their work because they're so stressed. What can people do to control this and then stay sane?
Yes, I think stress is one factor that affects everybody, but not all kind of stress is a bad stress. I think I talked about one chart. Maybe if you get a chance to show that chart, there are all kinds of stress, and some of the stress actually good for the body. It's healthy for the body, like exercise, infant stimulation. We call that eustress. It's just healthy stress, and stress is pretty much an environmental challenge to our body, and how we respond to stress is actually up to us. That's our response. But exercise, inflammation is a helpful stress to the body, which is good for you, and that leads to good health. But the distress, which is psychological mental stress, which can get worse with lack of sleep, other issues happening in your life, can lead to distress. Distress leads to illness. When I say illness, it could be anxiety, depression, headaches, and lack of motivation. And when that happens, you're not exercising, you're not focusing on your food, you could be eating more food or eating less food. This all leads to illness. So if you have a proper lifestyle in place, if you have a good support, you have a proper food eating, all that helps you convert that illness back to health. So when we talk about healthy lifestyle, we need to learn what really healthy lifestyle is before we talk about healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle is set of habits that we develop as a child and growing up, and that defines our daily routine. And if you make that good daily routine, there is higher chance that we can maintain that and be a good health. And we talked about health. What is health? Right? Many people may say absence of disease, health. But health is not that static. Health is very dynamic. Every day there is a constant up and down balance of different things happening to the body that can lead to stress. Somebody says something, you got anxious, angry, that's going to affect your health. And if you don't do anything, you're going to get sick. But if you constantly realize this is it and find a proper way of healthy routine, then you can bring it down and reach a constant healthy state. So there is always a fine balance of health. So to maintain that healthy dynamic state, you have to have a good daily routine in place so that if any stimulus, any stressful event happens in your life, you know how to deal with it and you come back to your healthy state. So that will only happen when you learn the healthy lifestyle. It's not just absence of disease, it's a dynamic process every day. So, this is how you will learn how do I handle stress.
Hmm.
Things going to happen in your life you can control, but
Yeah,
what you can control is how you react to it.
right. That's a good point. I think it's easy to overlook that, but I think you've said it very nicely.
Yes. So, I think that's the main part.
Mindfulness, which is in a simplistic language, is just a state of calmness and being aware of oneself. Staying calm, staying normal, trying to control the emotions and trying to control oneself. So, how can one achieve mindfulness?
So, I think I mentioned about how do I handle stress. One of the way to handle stress is the mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to stay in present moment and stop worrying about the past or future. What that means is you're focusing on what I should do today and not worry about why this happened to me and what's going to happen to me in the future. I think both of them are unknown. We don't know what's going to happen in the future, and whatever happened in the past is past. So mindfulness is enjoy every moment that's going on today, right now. That means we have to change your mindset to become more positive and live in the present moment. Positive, Positivism is a trait that increases your health and reduces your chance of being sick from the disease. So, whatever happens around you, you always have a choice to make how you respond to that situation. That reminds me of a quote from Dalai Lama, and what he says that if something happens to you,
Hmm.
can you do something about it? If answer is yes, then do it and don't worry about it. Can you do something about it? Answer is no, I cannot do anything about it. Then don't worry about it. So focus on what I can do right now. That is important. Most people, when the stress builds up, is when they focus on why this happened to me. Why did I do that? Why can this happen? The answer to that is you don't have an answer. It happened. Why this happened? You can think all you want. You don't have an answer, and that no answer leads to frustration, and that leads to more stress. So whatever happened, happened. I can't do anything about it now. If I can learn something from it and make it better, focus on that. Think about what I can do right now. That's being more positive, living in the present moment. That's mindfulness. Being aware of what I have right now. Being more happy about, like people talk about the gratitude journal, the gratitude. What that is appreciating what you have with you.
Hmm.
So you'll start to see glass half full, not glass half empty.
Hmm.
So the concept is being more positive, live in the moment, enjoy the moment, and that's going to lead to more positive outlook. You become more constructive. You will see things, more positive things in life, and that's good for the stress. Because things you can't change, you can't change. You can only change your mindset about it.
Right, right. Very well said. I think the what you mentioned about Dalai Lama is so very appropriate and so very real.
Yeah, I actually have one of the article just on that Dalai Lama's quote because I found that so powerful, so useful that really like why you worry about things, right? If you can do something, do it. Don't worry about it. If you cannot do anything, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just a great thing he said. This is wonderful.
Well, Adarsh, I have to be respectful of your time, but I want to ask one last question, which is, what do you think are the top 5 ways one can live healthier and longer?
So there's a lot of different ways, but if I have to pick top 5 ways, I think I'll start with one of thing is not just focus on goals, but focus on the journey towards the goal. So what that means is don't just focus on I want to lose 20 pounds. Focus on what are you doing to lose that 20 pounds. Even though you don't lose 20 pounds, you will still be healthier because you're focusing on what are you doing. That means, oh, I have cut down on my calories. I've been drinking water more. I've been walking more. I've been doing all those changes that you made are equally important. Even if you don't reach the goal, but that change in your daily routine, that change in your healthy lifestyle is what's going to help you long term. So focus on that journey towards the goal. That's much more important than actually reaching the goal. You will reach the goal, may not be in 3 months, 4 months, ultimately reach it if you maintain the lifestyle. So that journey. So that's the one point that I think it's very important to take away. Second important point is incorporate activity on your daily routine. Even if you say, I don't have time, I can't work, well, find a way that you can incorporate in your daily routine, such as park your car far in your parking lot and then walk. Don't spend time looking for the closest parking in a mall. Park far and walk. Whenever you can take a chance to take steps, take steps. Don't take elevator. In your office, don't take use intercom. Walk around. At home, instead of using remote all the time, you can be on treadmill and watch TV. You can incorporate activity in your daily routine. That is important. Don't think about if I don't go to the gym, I can do it. Well, you have time, put activity in your daily routine. Focus on that. So you can incorporate some activity in your daily routine. So that's important part, very important. Because many people can spend their time completely sedentary, not do anything. If you just get up, go in the car, park your car in the garage, take the elevator, go to the office, sit in the desk all day, come back down, sit in the car, come back home. You could easily do that. But you make some effort that during your break, take a walk around. You always have break instead of just sitting, get time to walk around in your work. So you don't have to go outside of work routine and go to a gym. And many times that's when people say, I don't have time to go to gym. I have the membership, but I've never used it. People say that all the time. But don't worry about it. You can do in your daily routine. Third component is eat a balanced diet and watch for calorie intake and minimize saturated fat and salt. So make sure you don't eating the same kind of food every day. Have some variety. Try to explore different fruits and vegetables. And I can give you my example. For the long time, I only ate mostly, when I grew up in India, I only had mango and guava as my main fruit and banana. But since I came to the US, I have explored so many different fruits and I have begun to realize I like so many fruits. It's just amazing that I didn't realize I'd never ate those foods. The
Mm-hmm.
more you explore, the more you like it. So explore variety in the food, incorporate fresh fruit and vegetables in your daily routine, and that's going to help minimize your intake of saturated fat and salt automatically, and you get a lot more fiber. So that's a third component. The fourth component is get proper sleep. We spend good amount of time mentioning how important sleep is. If you can even get 5 to 6 hours, that's good enough. 7 to 8 hours is ideal. And the last fifth message to take home is learn to manage stress with positivism,
Mm-hmm.
thinking in positive nature, glass half full versus glass half empty. So those are the important concept. And if you put those, I think, five things in place where you have diet, exercise, sleep, and your mental stress, all are covered in these five components.
Yeah, that is very insightful and very well summarized. I have to thank you so much. And I just want to remind the viewers that if you want to read more about this book, you do have the option of downloading this book for free on a Kindle version, so which is available for today and tomorrow. So make sure you do download the book, read it thoroughly, read it fully. I really enjoy reading the book. And if you want to follow Dr. Adarsh Gupta, its website is adarshgupta.com. He writes routine blogs. You can follow him on that. And I have to thank you so much for taking your time and being here and giving you insightful thoughts.
And thank you, Dr. Raj, for having me on your channel. I really enjoy your channel. It's provide all kinds of good information that really help to everybody. So thanks for having me on your channel. It was wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, take care. Bye.
Take care.